Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Reverend, the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is a blessed July 14th. Although all day long, all morning, I kept trying to type in the 18th, and I couldn't find my work. I could not find the work I saved under the 14th because I kept thinking today was the 18th. My brain is jumping ahead 4 days, and you'll understand why a little bit later. I hope. If you don't understand why a little bit later, then God help you understanding anything else, because this is going to be real simple. But thank you. Like I said, good morning, brothers and sisters. And this includes anyone listening for the very first time and anybody who's returning despite their better judgment. I appreciate you and I thank you. Wherever you may be listening, you are indeed welcome and appreciated. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCM, LIX. Yes, Lord. I have been called by many names. People have called me the racy reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile vicar of vice. I like that one. I like saying vice. The vile vicar of vice. Vile, vulgar vicar of vice. Can't have enough V words. Although you see the movie V is for Vendetta, that guy has a soliloquy using the letter V that is to this day just blows my fucking mind. I just appreciate the writing, the acting, everything about that. Check it out. If you don't appreciate it, you are dead from the neck up and the neck down. There's just a little part right here where you might be alive, right there, just right there. But I love that. V is for Vendetta. There's this one scene that the guy does a soliloquy with the V's. It is beautiful, beautiful. I watched the movie just for that part. The rest of the movie is really good. I enjoy the movie. I've seen it many, many times. Like I said, the vile, vulgar vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the frisky friar, the ass man abbot, and the nasty N-word. The point is, it's that nasty N-word. That's right, that one, that nasty one. The point is that I come by many names and by many methods, and that does not come easy. Lord have mercy. So let us begin, as we always begin, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck yeah? Yeah! That's right. Seems like half the choir was out to lunch there, but that's okay. I appreciate them anyway. Love them. You're a good choir, good church. Love you all. If you will please bow your heads, unless you are driving your car or your significant other. And if that is the case, just close your eyes and let Jesus do the driving while we pray. And now for our disclaimer. Although all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered or answered in the manner that we would like for them to be answered. Some restrictions apply. Dear Lord, receive thy servant Richard Simmons, who died at the age of 76. The police say that there was no foul play and that he died of natural causes. There may not have been foul play involved in his death, but I'm sure that there was some in his life. I'm not judging. People play hard sometimes. And he was a fitness expert. He played hard. Richard Simmons said, I feel, quote, he said this, quote, I feel good. I am grateful that I am here, that I am alive for another day. In an interview published just one day before his death. And he posted, his last post was on X, Saturday morning, the day before he died. And he shared a sassy looking photo of himself like that. And it said, quote, hello, gorgeous. Please don't rain on my parade. Close quote. That's what he wrote. The day prior, he thanked fans for their birthday wishes. Quote, thank you. I never got so many messages about my birthday in my life. I am sitting here writing emails. Have a most beautiful rest of your Friday. Can I get a coincidence? Last week, the rapper Fulio died the day after his birthday. And just prior to his death, Jones expressed excitement and gratitude about his birthday on social media, putting it on X. And he said, quote, God, thank you for allowing me to see another year and to celebrate another birthday, close quote. And God said to Fulio, you're welcome. Is that all you want? That's right. I think people need to stop fucking around on X. I think people need to stop putting their birthday shit on X, especially if like it's the day before or the day of, because it ain't looking good so far. There's like a new pattern. I'm telling you now, I can't prove this, but I'm almost positive that Elon Musk guy has been tweaking with Twitter for so long that X is trying to take us out one birthday at a time. So if you have a birthday, keep it off. Keep it off of Twitter. If you have a birthday, keep it off of X. If you have a birthday, wait until the next year before you say anything about it, because shit's been, like I said, shit's been getting crazy. I apologize for 1 second. I'm getting phone calls from people that I don't usually get phone calls from. That's weird for me. And I don't know how to do this, because usually that means it's like an emergency. I tell you what I'll do. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to type this and let you know what I'm typing. Cannot talk now in church. That's right. Okay. Now, as I was saying, I think people need to stop fucking around on X. That's all I'm saying. As a matter of fact, I am canceling my X account before I have another birthday. That's right. I'm not superstitious, just super cautious. Like the song says, very super cautious. Bow, 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 bow. Tweeting on the wall. Bow, 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 bow. Very super cautious. Bow, 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 bow. Watch them birthdays fall. Bow, 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 bow. Okay. I know that wasn't great, but I just literally just popped it and did like right there, made that up. That's why I'm not a rapper. See, a real rapper probably would have rhymed it better. Matter of fact, they know they don't. They make up shit just to force the rhyme. Okay. But dear Lord, receive the spirit of our dear sister, Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Dr. Ruth was a celebrity therapist whose grandmotherly charm, hey baby, and blunt honesty revolutionized public discourse on sex. Yes, Lord. She died at 96 years of age. Dr. Ruth may have stood about crotch high, but she was a giant when it came to oral gratification. And by oral gratification, I mean speaking about sex. I don't know what you were thinking. You nasty dog. You nasty man. Dr. Ruth was trained as a sniper when she lived in Israel in like 1968, when she was trained as a sniper. I think it was for 48. I can't remember when it was. She was there. You have to ask her. But she was trained as a sniper because she was in the Israeli army. And she said that she never had to kill anyone, thank God. And I'm sure that she could have blown many a man away. I did that wrong. I said, I'm sure that she could have blown many a man away. See, you got that. Oh, never mind. If she had to. That's something. If she had to. Dr. Ruth said that when it comes to sex, the most important 6 inches is between the ears. Can I get a, that's not earwax. Dear Lord, I want to thank you for preventing more tragedy from occurring in Butler, PA. It could have been much worse, if President Biden gave a live unscripted interview. All he had to do was make one slip and say something by accident, like SEAL Team 6 only had one job. Can I get a where was Melania? And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at MindDog TV. They are truly doing your work, helping to spread your word throughout the wordosphere. They could be anywhere today, but they are here, wishing that they were anywhere today. And that ought to count for something. Showing up as half the work. That's right, minddogtv.com, the place to go to get your Church of the Last Resort gear and anything else you may need. We have a warehouse full of goods and goodies. A warehouse. As a matter of fact, we are called the Ollies of minddogtv.com. We are the Walmart of Ollie's. We are the Walmart of Costco's. That's right. That's what we are. We got the shit. If you need the shit, we got the shit. So come get your shit. minddogtv.com. And in the spirit of the Lord, or in the spirit of the Lord, let us have a bump for the Lord. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Good. That's even better. Second time around. Lord have mercy. Yes, indeed. Well, that was a good bump. And let us continue in the name of the George Carlin, the Robin Williams, and the Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah. Fuck yeah! Yes, indeed. Thank you, Lord. I just heard back from the person who was calling me, and they just said, okay, thanks for letting me know. I'm on my way to a practice. Just want to call to check in and see how everything's going. That's sweet of him. That's sweet. Because he doesn't usually call me. Very seldom. So I guess he's in town. That's what it sounds like. And I will reach out back to him a little bit later. Just for the record, just so you know, I don't know how this is working now. Last week, during the sermon, I talked about my great nephew who his hands were soft and supple. Yes, his hands were soft and supple because he's a wide receiver. And you got to have the soft and supple hands. Or is he a running back? I think he's a running back. But you got to have the soft, supple hands to play football so that you can caress the football. You can caress it and tuck it in. You got to tuck, caress and tuck. Caress and tuck. You know what I'm saying? That's the secret to good footballing. So this person here, last week, I mentioned him not by name, and I still haven't mentioned him by name. I just told you he was my great nephew. That's all I told you. And I told you that my mother and my sister and his mother used to suck on his toes and play with his feet. And nom, nom, nom. They did that to him. This is the guy. Now, why does he call? He's never called. Matter of fact, the last time he called me, I can look this up. I got the history. Was November of 2023. That's right. That's the last time, and that's because I went down. I was driving down to get him to bring him up for Thanksgiving. That was the last time we talked. That's it. And yet I mentioned him on the YouTubes, and all of a sudden he calls me out of the blue. The next week I'm on church. The next week, does he want me to talk about him again? Is that it? He heard it and say, I thought it was okay. Talk about me again. Maybe he's daring me to talk about him again. I don't know. Or did Facebook somehow let him know that his name was being? No, I didn't mention his name. His fetish was being mentioned, and that's why he called. I don't know. I'm just saying, be careful what you say out there, brothers and sisters, because someone's listening and someone's acting on it. Even if it's not God hearing your prayers, Siri is fucking hearing your thoughts, or Facebook is tapping into your shit and they're putting it out there. All of a sudden, shit's getting crazy. Lord have mercy. It's fucking crazy. The shit that's going on that they're listening to. Now, I wanted to address the elephant in the room, because I'm sure that by now many of you have noticed the bandages all over my hand, and there would be two more, like one there and one there. And I didn't want y'all to say, whoa, what the hell is wrong with his hand? I'm going to explain it to you. And I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to give you a choice as to what you want to believe. All right. That's how this church works. You don't have to believe what we believe. You don't have to believe what we say. You don't have to believe a damn thing. You have a choice. All right. And this is your choice right now. This is your choice. What you want to believe. What happened to my hand? One option. My wife, Amona, has been out of town for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks and a day, the day with last day was not planned. The airport fucked up and she had to stay another day in Montreal. Okay. And it's not that Montreal is not a nice town, but when you are like 4 hours from home, as far as the flight goes, well, 5 if you count 5.5 hours if you count the driving time, because it takes like an hour and a half to get from that airport to my house. When you're that close to home is what I'm saying. You don't want to spend another 24 hours in another country. You don't want to, even if it's Montreal, Canada, you want to come home. And she wanted to come home, and she was angry. She was angry. You know, I want to come home. And it wasn't her fault that they fucked up. It was not her fault. It was the fault of the people that she was blaming. That's right. The Air Canada people. So I did, what did I do? I fucked up. Pay no attention to the man behind the wall. My wife, like I said, she had to stay another day. I drove to the airport. I picked her up. We talked. We have not seen each other for like 15 days. And we got home. She says, I can't wait another minute. I have to have you right now. And we went at it. And I cut my hand on the zippers trying to get my business out. That's one version. That's one story. I cut my hand on the zippers. The other version is that was not managing my time correctly. And I realized I had to leave to pick her up from the airport frantically, and yet the house was a mess. And I was trying to clean up the house, and this shit all happened trying to hurry and clean and stuff like that. That's version 2. Version 3, the last version is, and we have a cat, Tootsie. Everybody knows her. Everybody's seen her. She was laying on the bed last night, and she said, in cat words, she said, "Rub my belly." And I went to rub her belly, and she yelled in cat words, "Psych." But instead of just saying psych, she showed me psych. And she also showed me psycho, as in psycho cat. She just fucking went to town on my arms, my wrists, and drew so much blood out of my hand that I had to put my robe in the washing machine. You can believe whichever story you want. I would like to tell you which one is true, but I don't want to. It's not my job to tell you what to believe or what to do. So I will let you believe what you want to believe. Okay, believe whatever story, whichever those 3 stories that you want. One of them is true, and I'm not telling you what to believe. All right. So there we have it. At this point in time, I want to if our producer behind the scenes would play the first clip. It's a commercial for my show. Yes, indeed. Brothers and sisters, Blessings and Blasphemy, an interactive comedy experience, is returning to the Church of Satire Comedy Club at 106 Broadway in Hanover, Pennsylvania on July 18th. I, the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle, will have new orations to lift up your spirits and some new games to go with some of your favorite games like Booby Ball, Pussy Putz Putz, and Squirtle. Tickets are $10 online at churchofsatirecomedyclub.com and $15 at the door. The doors open at 7 p.m. and the show starts promptly at 7:30. That's Blessings and Blasphemy, an interactive comedy experience at the Church of Satire Comedy Club at 106 Broadway in Hanover, Pennsylvania on July 18th. See you there. Yeah, now I want people to be there. I want to fill the place up. I want to sell the place out. Not sell out. I want to sell the place out and fill the place up. Make the second show super fantastic. That's my goal. I want people there, and I want them to have a good time, a good old time. But I realize that there are some people who may not be able to attend my live performance of Blessings and Blasphemy 2, an interactive comedy experience at the Church of Satire on July 18th in Hanover, Pennsylvania. That's some people, but not all. Some people will not be able to make it for financial reasons, like they blew all of their money at the airport waiting for somebody, and they got hungry and they tried to eat, at the airport. Instead of eating on their way to the airport or on their way back from the airport, they tried to get airport food. They blew all their money. They blew all their money on transportation in New York because they didn't realize that transportation in New York is 4 times more expensive than it is everywhere else in the world or just outside of New York. Either way, you may have blown all of your money looking for power cords but the point is, you may have blown your money. That's not my fault. That's not my fault, and I shouldn't have to suffer because you blew all your money. You knew the show was coming, okay? Some people may not be able to make it because it's a Thursday night show. I understand. Thursday night show, but it's Thursday night for me also, and I'm going to be there. So that is not a good reason, although it is a possibility. And some people are made of plastic, And you know, some people are made of wood. Some people have hearts of stone. And some people are up to no good. All right. Basically, I know that not everyone will be able to make it. Now, if you cannot make the show, but you want to be a part of the show, here's what you can do. You can send your request for prayers or blessings or forgiveness to the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle via the email address that's scrolling. Okay, it's not scrolling. I thought it was scrolling. I didn't even look. There it is. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. But if you're listening and not seeing, that does not help you. So the email address is drrevjellyrolle@gmail.com. Okay, Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle @gmail.com. Or you can message me on Facebook if you want. Join my Facebook page and message me. That's fine. But it's better to email me because I like to I'm lazy and I want to look at one place for everything. So do that, send a request, and if we use your request on the show, I will make a highlight reel of it and post it to social media, just so you can see that I kept my word, all right? And if you do not see a post from me on social media showing your prayer that we used on the show, it's because you didn't fucking send it, all right? Don't get mad at me if you didn't get a post from me because you should have emailed me, motherfucker. That's right. Now, damn it. I was going to say something. I think I forgot to write it. I did. Damn it. I cannot remember what I was going to say now.
You did it.
Damn it. All right. Now, about the sermon. Today's sermon is, but I'm innocent. All right. Now, basically, I'm talking about taking responsibility and owning up to what you did. All right. There's been a rash of things of people saying things or doing things and then saying, I didn't say it, I didn't do it. And then they show the tape right there. Say, see, this is you doing it. This is you saying it. And then they try to fucking explain away, what you just saw. There was a rapper who said, I never touched my ex-wife or girlfriend. I didn't hit her. I didn't do it. And now she made that shit up. Bitch crazy. And then they show the video of him dragging her by the hair and slapping her around and shit in a hotel lobby or wherever the hell the video was. It was hotel footage. And then he goes, oh, that bitch. Oh, well, I was going through some bad times or whatever the fuck they said. All right. Own up to it. Like it says in the good book in John 8:32. Good book. What's it say in John 8:32? It says that the truth shall set you free. Thank you, good book. The truth shall set you free. And I firmly believe that the truth and a good lawyer will set you free. I believe that with all my heart. Every ounce of my being, I believe the truth will set you free if you got a good lawyer. No, they got people, I'm not going to mention any names, running for president. And I say people because there's two of them who did the exact same thing. I never said that. I didn't say that. Don't know what you're talking about. Roll the tape. Oh, that. You took that out of context. Okay, here's the whole tape. Oh, I didn't know it was being recorded. That's not an excuse. That's not the fact that they caught you on tape doing it, saying, I didn't know I was being recorded does not negate the fact that you said it or did it. Okay? I did not know I was being taped is not a defense. See, here's the deal. Quite often, when we do things that we shouldn't do, or do things that we're ashamed of, or do things that we know there's going to be consequences for, chances are we know we did it. It's a good chance we know we did it. If I went out to a bar, like, I don't want to mention any bars by name because I may have visited them. And if I didn't visit them, they may want to sue me because I didn't visit them. But let's say I visited a bar. Let's call it the Giggle Snatch, okay? A club. Let's say I was at the Giggle Snatch and I was drinking, okay? And I knew I'd been drinking and I know I'm going to drive home. I knew I was going to drive home before I even started drinking. And I start drinking and I have, I don't know, let's say a quart of something, not water, alcohol. And I'm driving home and the police pull me over. And they say, excuse me, do you know why I pulled you over? And I'm like, no. And they say, you were swerving all over the road. And I'll go, I was? Yes, you were. And I don't blame you. The police will say, I don't blame you for swerving all over the road because after you hit that second car, you had to regain control. And so and I'll go, what? No, wasn't me. Wasn't me. Don't know what you're talking about. Have you been drinking, sir? What? Nope. See, wait, why? Why lie? Why the fuck lie? Own up to it, okay? You've been caught. Now, I'm not saying only tell the truth when you get caught. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is once you get caught, own up to it. If you don't get caught, teach us how not to get caught. Teach the rest of us. Show us what you did. But if you do get caught, own up to it. All right? Own up to it. Set yourself free. Don't be doing that kind of nonsense, stupid shit that you get all bent out of shape trying to twisted pretzel fucking logic, trying to justify what we all know you did. We know you did it. You know you did it. Just say you did it. Get on with the process of forgiveness and penance, in jail if necessary. See? And some people, some of the things don't even require jail. Some of the I'm gonna tell you a story about a different nephew, because not a great nephew, just a nephew, just a regular nephew. He's not great. He's good. He's not great. Just a regular nephew. When he was about 4 or 5 years old, he climbed very ingeniously, got a chair, put it up against the closet door, the pantry, opened the pantry, took the chair, put it inside the closet, climbed up to the 4th shelf, got out the Raisin Bran, and climbed back down and sat on the floor and poured the Raisin Bran out on the floor and ate all the raisins, and then put the box back up on the shelf and closed the door. But he did not clean up the bran flakes. They were still on the floor. He just put the box back. But for a 4-year-old, 4 or 5 years of age, that's still next level thinking, kinda. Except for the flakes. You gotta clean the flakes. You can't just eat all the raisins and leave the flakes. But anyway, the point is, I wake up first, well, second, because he woke up first. I wake up second. I gotta say, and I see the Raisin Bran, or the bran without the raisins on the floor. And I'm looking around, and my nephew's gone back to bed. He's all fat and healthy, fat, full, and happy. He went back to bed. But I wake him up, and I say, nephew? That's not what I called him. I called him by his real name. But he's very, very defensive about me using his name in public. And I will hear from his fucking attorneys. Like I said, he's just a nephew, not a great one. A great nephew would say, use my name. But I don't even take the chance. I have a litigious family, very litigious family. The Rolle family roll like that. That's how they roll. They just fucking litigious. They just sue every fucking body. So, yeah, I wake him up and I take him downstairs and I said, "Did you do this?" And he said, "No." I said, "Someone else in this house came down here and ate all the raisins out of the Raisin Bran." He goes, "Must have. I don't know. Wasn't me. Was not me. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Nope, not me. Not me." And I looked at him and I said, "You're lying to me. And do you know how I know you're lying? Because every time a child tells a lie, a little red dot shows up on their forehead. And that way grown-ups can tell that they're lying." And then I showed him the scar on my forehead from when I was a kid. Now, the truth is, my brother did this. It's a scar on my forehead when my brother pushed me into a table. And so at that point, I had the scar. And my nephew also has a scar right here from a similar incident, only he fell on his own. He fell on his own and did that. So he had the thing, but he was so young. He was a baby. He didn't remember how he got that. He just, as far as he knows, he was born with a scar, with that little thing on his head. But I told him that that would light up red. And I showed him mine. I said, "See, I said, all bad kids have them. All bad kids have that mark. And when they lie, their parents know. And so it helps the parents teach a bad kid how to not be a bad kid." And so he was 4 or 5 years old and he believed me. A couple of days later, I hear him talking to himself in the bathroom. So I walk by and I just peek, and he's looking in the bathroom and he's lying to the mirror, trying to get the dot to not show. And he's convinced now that he is such a good liar that he can lie that I'm sorry. I skipped a very important part. He did believe the story about the dot, the little red light. And so for about a month, whenever he would tell a lie, he would do this. He would try to hide the light. So every time he told a lie, he would do this. Like, "No, I didn't break it. No." And he'd put his hand there until he was finished lying and he'd put it down. So now everybody in the family knows when he's lying because he's trying to hide the light so that we won't know he's lying. Then he catches on. Took him a while. He's smart, but he wasn't bright. Took him about maybe 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month and a half. But it took a little bit of time for him to realize that when he did this, he was also telling us he was lying. So that's when he started practicing lying to himself in the mirror. And I watched him, and he was sitting there telling lies, and he was convinced that he could lie and not have a tell. And he would lie and he'd pause. Make sure the light didn't show up. And he'd lie and he'd pause. So then he thinks he's got it good. And so then whenever he'd lie to us, he'd pause just to make sure we didn't see the light. So that became his tell. He'd lie and pause. So he might say something like, "No, I didn't sneak out the house and ride my bike when I was punished." And then he'd go on because he wanted to see our reaction, to see if we reacted to a red light. We didn't. The red light didn't show up. Now, while that kind of helped us learn when he was lying, what it also did, I fucked up in a way, because I taught him how to lie to himself. He was not lying to himself until I told him I could tell when he was lying, and he started lying to himself so that he could see when he was lying, see if we could tell. That was his defense mechanism. And then Lord knows how long he lied to himself. Now, I don't know how many people lied to themselves because of me, I only did that to one person, him. Never had to do that to my nieces, just him, just my nephew. I don't know how many people lie to themselves because of that. Maybe he'd have grown up lying to himself anyway. Seems like a thing people do. I don't know. Maybe I didn't fuck him up. Don't know. I'm just saying it's a possibility, and I'm willing to own up to that possibility. That's what I'm saying. I'm willing to own up to that possibility unless he winds up in jail for lying to himself, and then I have to wipe my hands clean of that shit. Then I'm going to say it's just a human condition. People lie to themselves all the fucking time. The point is, and I know I must have missed it like 3 stops ago, the truth bus, the story bus, I missed that stop a while back. I don't even know where I am because why should I? The point is, okay, that we need to take responsibility for ourselves and our actions from what we do, all right? And not just when we get caught, okay? Now, last night, there was an attempt. I'm going to try to keep this non-political, but there was a young man who attempted to assassinate a political figure last night, or a lion millionaire, whatever he is. So the person's dead. Secret Service got him. And maybe, well, I guess we won't know who the I guess we won't. I think his name is Thomas Matthew Crooks.
His hands were soft and supple.
Yes, his hands were soft and supple. Because if he had hard hands, he probably could have finished the shot. Been a better shot. I don't know. I'm not saying. First, I'm trying to be careful because I do not want to get us pulled off the air before we get pulled on the air. All right, I'm trying real hard not to do that because I know at some point, maybe 5 years from now, YouTube is going to say, "Wait a second, did you hear what he said 5 years ago? Let's take it down, or demonetize me, or demonize me." All right, so he never got a chance to own up to it unless he wrote a manifesto or something. I don't know. It's just know that he's 20 years old, and that's pretty much all I know. I don't know his political leanings. I'm told that he was. I'm sorry. I don't want to spread any rumors until I know for a fact. Okay, about political leanings. I'm not going to go there because that's not important to what we're talking about. The thing is, I really wish he had lived. I really do. I really wished he'd lived. Can I stray for a second? I just want to stray just for a second. I watched this last night on the news. I watched it over and over again. And one of the things I noticed, one witness said, I heard 4 shots. Pop, pop, pop. You're already catching on. Another witness said, I heard 6 shots. Pop, 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 pop. Okay. These are people at the rally. They're having problems with math. Things are not adding up. I don't want to trigger anybody by saying things like there are idiots out there who, or still think 1 times 1 is 2. I don't want to trigger anybody. That's not the point. The point is there seems to be a pattern, a growing pattern of people not being able to do math. I don't know if it is a malfunction in the brain or a malfunction in our society? I do not know. I'm just saying I'm beginning to get concerned because these people are allowed to vote and drive and have kids and raise kids. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to take it any further. I should. I really should, but I'm not. So, like I said, I wish they hadn't killed him. I wish we'd learned more about him. If nothing else, from his own words, because we are living in such a disturbed society. The very people that are calling for violence have violence placed upon them. And now they're saying, what is all this violence? Why are people like this? What's going on here? They are calling for violence. They're the ones saying that they want to take things over. And if they let them, they'll do it peacefully. Okay. These are those people. These are those people that are creating an atmosphere of violence. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying it's just them, but what I'm saying is, because it doesn't matter if you're on the left or on the right. There are people that are bad people on both sides of the aisle. Okay, and even in the middle of the aisle, independents. There are people who do bad shit. As politics is fucking relevant. But what is relevant is if you are calling for violence and then violence visits upon you, shut the fuck up. You've been asking for it. You've been asking for it. They say there's a saying called the chicken's coming home to roost. Well, not only is that chicken coming home to roost, she's laying fucking eggs and she brought her cock with her, and that cock is going to get you right in the ass. They're moving in. They ain't just coming home to roost. They moving in, and that cock is going to get you. That's right. Chicken's coming home to roost. People of planet Earth 1, okay? We need to stop the fucking violence and the stupid shit, okay? Own up to what you're doing, all right? Don't sit here and say, lock her up, or shoot protesters, or let's kill third world people coming to try to get citizenship. Let's stop with the cruelty, and then asking why things are so cruel. If you stop with the cruelty, things won't be so fucking cruel. Makes sense. That makes sense. Not like 1 × 1 = 2. If you stop the cruelty stops. If you stop the violence stops. There you go. Problem solved. Just like Nancy Reagan would say, just say no. Even though she was married to a warmongering, thieving, conniving man, Ronald Reagan. That's what I'm talking about. You can check. You can. Don't take my word for it. Just Google Iran Contra and all the other shit. Just Google it. Go ahead. I'll wait. Okay, I'm done. I'm done waiting. Catch up, people. Catch up. Now, while I wait for you to catch up, if I can get the people to play the second clip.
Comedians, musicians, songwriters, filmmakers, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the spring and summer seasons now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
All right, I'm going to fix that because it says spring and summer, and actually he's booking for the summer and fall, right? Yeah, summer and fall. And that's on me. That's not on them. I just keep forgetting to fix it until I play it and I hear it and I go, I should have fixed that. So I'm going to fix it. So the next time you see it, it will be fixed. It will not be the same fucked up thing. It'll be fixed. It'll reflect the actual booking time frame, like summer and fall or whatever it is. I had to read what he wrote and put it in there. That's all. And I apologize right off the top of the back, right off the back. I own up to it. See, I fucked up. I'm owning up to it. And it didn't hurt me. See, I'm free. I'm free to go on and do the next thing because I owned up to it. And the people behind the scenes have forgiven me already. They're not going to take it out on me. They're not going to yell at GD on Monday for fucking up. They're going to be peaceful about it. And they're going to say, we got it. You fucked up. You owned up to it. Let's move on.
Yeah, his hands were soft and supple.
That's how people do. When you own up to it, people can be forgiving. People can be forgiving and ignorant. People can be forgiving and ignorant and sometimes just not give a shit. And that happens with, let's say, celebrities who do some really fucked up shit. And they make these apologies like this. They could have, let's say, there's a Pastor Robert something from the Gateway Mega Church. All right, molested a 12-year-old girl for 5 years, from 12 to 17. And his apology was, actually, he never apologized. Well, I guess in a way he thinks he apologized. He said to the church before he resigned, I've done some bad things. Okay, that's not saying, yes, I molested a 12-year-old girl for 5 years, and I only stopped because she aged out of the Gateway program. That's no. So his apology was like, I'm sorry, I did bad things. That's not going to set him free, okay? And that is not going to help have the young lady, Ms. Clemenshaw or whatever her name is. I can't remember the name because I didn't plan on talking about it. Otherwise, I'd have looked it up. You can look it up and tell me where I fucked up. How's that sound? You like that? You like that idea? Yeah, you do. Okay. So, but I'm not going to be able to read it now. I'll just correct it like next week. The point is, that was a lame ass fucking explanation. That was a lame ass excuse. He never owned up to it. And so now everybody some of his supporters will say, see, he apologized and it's all good with us. That is not what an apology is. That is not what penance looks like. That is not what owning your deeds looks like. Okay? That's just lying to yourself and lying to people who could forgive you. That's all that is. You got people out there doing, Senator Robert Menendez, God bless his little soul. His case right now is before the jury. They've had closing arguments. The jury is deliberating. Guess what? He didn't own up to it. His defense is either my wife did it or what I did wasn't wrong because I was doing the people's work and the people were just paying me for doing their work in gold bars. Okay? That's not owning up and taking responsibility. He's been caught red-handed. The FBI found gold bars in his suit pockets and cash, tons of cash, all in his drawers, in his wife's drawers. They were all up in the drawers. We got the cash in the drawers, cash drawers. I think that's what they call them, cash drawers, all up in there. And you know what he did? It's her. I don't know. I don't know what happened. That was her Mercedes Benz. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. And he said, I'm not going to resign my job. I'm not going to leave office because I might be able to beat this. Since when is beating something more important than telling the truth? Wow. I think I just made myself sound like an ass when I said that. And that may be the first time I've ever done that. Made myself sound like an ass. That's not a good feeling. Damn. But you would think that telling the truth would be more important than trying to get off. Man, I think that's what it is. I don't think people care about the truth. People just want to get off. That's it. They don't care who they hurt. They just want to get off. They don't care who suffers. They just want to get off. That's what's wrong with mankind. Mankind just wants to get off. They just want to get off and fuck the world. That's it. That's sad. That's so sad. How can we live in a world when only thing people care about is just getting off? My Lord, my Lord. I think that's a flaw in the design of man. I think God should own up to fucking up. I think God should apologize to us. And not one of those lame apologies like, oops, I didn't know it was being videotaped. And not, oops, I didn't know people was going to catch that mistake. God should say, you know, I messed up. I made man in my image. And so man just wants to get off. That's it. Starting to explain things now. It's starting to be clear to me why, God is trying to spread the word. See, the word is seed. A word is like a seed, and once it finds fertile ground, the word can grow and spread like a sentence, and then a book, and then a series of books. That's why, my gosh. God owes us an apology. Don't wait for it. Because until we apologize to God, God's not going to apologize to us. It's a vicious circle. The kind of circle that's vicious, which is, I think, a potato soup. It's a potato soup circle. Very vicious. Children, I think I just had a revelation that things are the way they are because man just wants to get off. And I think that I may not ever have to do another sermon ever again because that's the answer. But I will. I'll be back next week. Now, I want to tell you that next week is going to be really, is that, I don't know, not next week. 2 weeks from now, it's going to be very, very crazy because in 2 weeks, myself, my wife, Amona, my friend, G.D. Fenderson, and his wife, his wife's not going. My wife's not going. So it's me, my buddy, G.D. Fenderson, and our buddy, we have another friend going. We're going on a cruise without the women. That's next week. So that's that's not next week, but the week after next. So the week of the 28th, that sermon is going to be really, really crazy because we're going to be doing it from a boat. That's all I'm saying. But until next week, brothers and sisters, thank you for watching and listening. And in the name of, on behalf of the entire Rolle family, myself, Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle, my wife, Amona Rolle, my daughter, Cinnamon, my my son Jelly Jr., my cat Tootsie, my dog Stop Dropping. We want to thank you for watching. And in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get the fuck of yes? Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Thank you, and hope to see you next week. Bless you. God bless you.
Critical Joke Theory.